Hello everybody, and welcome back to Penny Larceny, Gig Economy Supervillain. So, when last we left off, we were stealing Great Leader's hat, and we unfortunately got rumbled and thrown in a cell, but doubly thankfully, there is an insurrection currently underway, so Farsight here has come to rescue us, despite the fact that she's a hero and we're not, and but hey, there seems to be a lot of moral challenging going on here. So, let's do some snoopage. Didn't Carpe Diem finger an innocent man for that bombing last year? The red herring. There we go. Yes, so we were snooping around, we had snooped through the skull room. We're trying to track down where Gibson has got to. Back in the dungeon again. A wine cellar? Huh. Cask after cask of fine vintages, all lined up nice and neat. Great leaders drinking good. Okay, according to the ping, Gibson's on the other side of the far wall there, behind the casks. More secret doors. How does anybody get around this place without a series of esoteric items anyway? Do you need a yellow keycard, a severed hand, and a statuette of the Greek god Zeus just to go to the men's room? Yeah, well, seems like our dear leader's aspiring to imitate some of the sillier mask shit. I think I see a mechanism for getting through the next door, but how do we get these casks out of the way? They must weigh a ton. I don't have super strength, and I can't predict our way out of this one either. Okay. Can you roll them? They'd need to get through the door too. Some kind of mechanism that moves the casks. If you empty them out, they'll be easy to move. Please don't drink on the job. No, there must be some mechanism. There's got to be a system here. Is there any system for quickly moving these out of the way? No point to a hidden door if you can't access it. I'm not sure. Should I scan the future for possibilities? Just use your eyes, it'll be here and now. Oh, there's some chains attached to that winch on the ceiling. There we go. But the crank is missing. Why would the crank be missing? Fucking puzzle box mansions. Okay. For lack of a better... It's one place not corrupted by capitalism. Ostoska? Find an iron bar we can wedge into the mechanism to act as an ill-fitting lever. It's awkward, but it'll work. With the two of us working together, we managed to raise one rack of barrels, exposing the door. Fortunately, this door only requires a basic lever, no fancy key-esque item to open it. And within... the control room. I see a pair of soldiers, not quite sure what to do with an increasingly annoyed-looking Gibson. How do you connect this robot cat thing to the computer? I have USB-C and USB-A, but can't find any ports. Meow. Maybe it uses lightning connector. Or maybe we have to cut the cat open and... Farsight and I aren't really the martial artsy types, but sucker punching some dudes when their backs are turned isn't much of a challenge. Gibson, are you okay? Did they hurt you? Watching those Neanderthals try to understand data transfer standards was torture, but otherwise fine. They also favored me some tuna. Not very good tuna, I've had better. 2 out of 5 stars, would not eat here again. He's just so adorable when he ruthlessly criticizes people. Can I pet him? Can I, please? No. Okay, you may. I do like pets. Oh, I see. Gibson's the one saying, can we get back to the cave? Alright. Uh-oh. Soldiers start trying to break in through the heavy door. You cat stuff later. Quick, stack furniture in front of the door. On it. Gibson, we need to find where the rebel leaders are being jailed and get them out of here. Can you help with that? Of course. We already accessed their Wi-Fi router earlier. Getting into their primary console will be much easier. Okay, it's running Eldor, so I can bust this down. Just need time. As much time as you can give me. 6 men, no, 8 men, carrying rifles. Sometimes already inside the door, sometimes held at bay. We need 3 desks and 2 chairs for maximum time before they bust in and kill us all. The 2 of us work fast, stacking as much crap as we can in front of the door. The barricade wobbles as the guards try to push it aside, but it holds. Darn it! If I'd investigated more before barging right in like some Cape Crusader, we wouldn't be cornered like this. Hey, I screwed up too. I assume I'd done enough investigation, but I don't have your ability to peer into the possibilities. And I don't have the mind of a thief. I don't see all the angles. Being able to see through time doesn't mean I know what to look for. Maybe we should team up more often then. I'm not sure we can. In Strutskov we can both be sketchy freedom fighters, but back home... Back home you have to be my enemy. And that sucks. I hate it so much. Yeah, me too. I just wish that we could... Melodrama later. I'm trying to focus on hacker stuff. Okay. Every door in this place has some weird puzzle, but they also have electromagnetic overrides. If I selectively black out the East Wing where the SDLF activists are being held, they can get out and hopefully escape. Best I can do. I wish I could be there to help them, but we're stuck in here. Okay, do it. Ooh. I do like Gibson. He's cute. Done. Electromagnets are disabled. Downloaded all their access codes too. We have full wireless control. Thank you, thank you. Hold your applause. And in the distance, muffled by stone but echoing down corridors all the same, I hear the sounds of an immediate fight breaking out. With his work complete, Gibson hops down, bounds over, and leaps into my backpack. Seconds later, an intercom in the room crackles to life. We are free! The guards are overrun! Whoever you are, you have restored hope for the people on this day. I grab the microphone and to give them the good news. Let's give Farsight the props. Let's try not to become a national hero. The great hero Farsight has liberated you. May the people of Strutskov see a brighter tomorrow. We're deactivating security measures in your sector. Escape and be free. You have our thanks, Farsight. We will never forget your name. For as long as Strutskov thrives under the banner of the democracy. SDLF out. Aw, thank you. You didn't have to do that. A little international infamy might have helped raise your profile. I don't need it. I'm just happy to help you. Okay, we just need to... Uh-oh, hit the deck! Okay, they are just mag-dumping the door. American swine, how dare you? How dare you think you can stand against the absolute majesty of my hat? I will have your heads. I will have every part of you. You will become the arms and legs of my throne. But not before I make the 2 of you beg for death. Your goggles, do they have night vision built in? What? Focus, night vision, do you have it? Yes, I do. I have an extra pair, actually. Because instead of spandex, I have pockets. Pockets, fuck yeah. Okay, Gibson, you have wireless control over the power grid now, right? Now boil your flesh and bake your bones and then the entire underground goes completely dark. What? Lights! We must have lights! Somebody get the lights! Boo! And yoink! My hat! No! Our laughter echoes down the corridors as Farsight easily leads us to safety. Victory achieved. We exit the same way Farsight got in, through hidden tunnels I didn't know about. Seems we each had half the puzzle of this place. Once safely past all 3 rings of military checkpoints, we reconnect with the SDLF rebels to hole up and hide out for the night. Interestingly enough, the assistant escaped with the SDLF. Glad to know she didn't lose her head. The SDLF officer hoped to smuggle us out of there in the morning as a way of saying thank you. But I choose to sneak out while everyone's asleep, and snag a getaway rideshare instead. Crooks have a service for everything. Not to worry, Farsight. No need to worry, Farsight, about whether or not she has to try and arrest me the moment we land back home. I'll just slip away first. I hope she can forgive me for ghosting her, but until we can figure out some way past the whole hero-villain problem, well, this is how it has to be, even if neither of us are happy about it. You need a calling card, Penny. That's what you need. Another victory for the Overmistress and her favoured criminal mastermind. You didn't end up Queen of Strutskov, and I'm sadly not a princess. And yet you've performed your task successfully. I now own the finest fashion accessory I could ever ask for. She places the new trophy atop her head, the glorious Hat of Leadership. Be honest, how do I look? Ridiculous, in the best possible way. Excellent! It is good to be ridiculous from time to time. If I had to maintain my poise as a dignified overmistress for every waking moment, I would go truly mad. You have obtained my hat, and Great Leader is on his way to the dumpster of history. The SDLF is laying siege to his manor already. And when they take control, the power of my cult will expand into the region with our new ally. You aren't gonna overthrow their shiny new democracy, right? Absolutely not. Honestly, wanting to be queen was perhaps a bit of an overreach. I am busy enough being overmistress. And unlike prior overmistresses, I do not feel the need for absolute control to maintain my power. It's better to delegate to skilled experts. Skilled experts like myself. Precisely. I'd say we've had a fine first outing, Miss Larceny. Here's to many more, yes? Should you choose to accept one of my contracts again, of course. Actually, my Crimer account's about to expire, so... Ah, a pity. Still, I was glad to work with you. By all means, call upon your overmistress in the future, should you require her aid. Until then, be well. Kind of a shame we're done working together, but hey, fun ride while it lasted. But I wonder what comes next for me now that my count's expiring. I guess we'll see. Now, we did try our best to maintain good relations with everybody. Great. I wonder where, like, the final star comes in. Because it was obvious in the first one, I accidentally tripped the alarm in the garage, but... Alright. The final caper. Have a quick drinky. With my Crimer job access expiring, so ends the era of Penny Larceny, gig economy supervillain. And restarts the era of Penny Larceny, aimless lone thief. 2 days have gone by with nothing more than the usual mass chatter across its built-in social network. No job offers. Nothing. Did I make a mistake by splitting my focus? I skipped from boss to boss, never hanging around very long. Fun stuff, but did I just hamstring my own career? Quit freaking out, okay? We got by before Crimer, we'll get by after. It was a fun experiment, but that's that. Gibb's pretty chill about this. Busy tapping away at his keyboard on some encryption project. But he's got a cat's chill, keep him fed and groomed, and everything's just peachy. Gib, we're still flat broke. All the money we made on those capers went to bills, and if no more work's coming in... So go steal stuff. You can be a self-starter instead of a hench or an underling. Heck, maybe I could swipe back some of the money we forked over to Crimer. I've been tracing the ridiculous service fees we had to pay. Dude, you want to steal from the King in Yellow? He probably doesn't even exist. He's like the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus, or an effective and useful moderate politician. Got him! Remember the secret archive we pulled from Lenny Legitimate's computer? I bet there's all sorts of good stuff in there. I've made headway decrypting it by using data from your 3 different bosses to learn Crimer's algorithms. Gib, no hacking Isaac, the Overmistress, or 4K. Come on, we've got scruples. I've got standards. They ain't high, but I got them. We're criminals. Scruples matter less when you're starving. Gotta be pragmatic, Penny. I still like to try to adhere to a code, at least. When I can, when it makes sense. I know mask life is hashtag complicated, but... That's where Crimer beeps me. Wait, what? I thought your account expired. It says here I need to be at Destructo's tonight at 8 for a meeting with... The King in Yellow? Uh-oh. Gib, did you actually hack the King? Did you find your paws on his servers? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I only said I was thinking of hacking him. I hadn't actually done it yet. Wait, is he telepathic? Is he omniscient? What is his superpower apart from being vague and scary and distant? I've got a bad feeling we're going to find out tonight. Can't turn it down. This guy basically runs the show for masks. If I don't accept, I might as well change my name and move to Antarctica. He wouldn't do anything in Destructo's, right? It's neutral ground. No one starts trouble there. And old man Destructo likes you. I'm sure it'll be fine. If not, well, I've made my escape under more dire circumstances. I could wriggle out of this one. Okay, I'll keep working on those LVC files meanwhile. We may end up needing some leverage over the king in the end. And to think I was worried about being bored a few minutes ago. Life just got interesting real fast. No point drumming up anxiety or worrying about what this meeting may or may not be about. Just get it over with. Back to the pub. Destructo's is surprisingly empty for a Friday night. Even when there's some big crossover event happening downtown, there's usually a few masks. May you live in interesting times, don't you curse me. Destructo himself is tending bar tonight, and he nods me along to a table in the centre of the empty upscale gin joint, where the matchmaker waits for me. Right-hand woman of Crimer, personal assistant to the King in Yellow, and if you're to be believed, also various secretaries and assistants and stuff. She sips from a light white wine before rising to greet me. Miss Larceny, good evening. I apologise for the rather brusque summons. The esteemed King in Yellow prefers not to cause a scene. Last-minute private bookings are key to that. It avoids unfortunate attention. So, is the King actually here? In his own way, yes. The same holo projector he used during the Social Mixer event fires up, broadcasting his presence into Destructo's. Oh boy. Right, Haster. Penny Larceny. Your kingship, your highness, should I be kneeling? What's protocol here? You are a villain. You bow to no one. Right, that's me. Big time villain, super important criminal mastermind. No doubt about it, nope. Indeed, I've been following your trajectory through my app with great interest, Penny. Huh, that's a bit informal, just using my first name. The Overmistress doesn't do that, she's way higher in the pecking order than me. I find it curious that you haven't fallen in with any bosses you've been working through Crimer. I've worked for 3 of them, haven't I? Yes, but you did not show them loyalty. Many henches and Crimer prefer to work with one boss, or perhaps 2, establishing a bond. But you remain refreshingly free of such bonds. You take what you need from them and move on. I respect that, Penny. Okay, he's not summoned me for my execution. Must not have gotten wise to Gibson poking at his systems. I never intended for Crimer to be used for long-running relationships. We are masks. It runs contrary to our own best interests. Better to touch and go. Better to remain your own villain, leveraging others for short-term gains that move you towards your own goals. Which makes me curious. What are your goals, Penny? And please don't say you want to become a famous mask. Famous for children. Adults seek power. Leading the answer there a bit, buddy, but okay, how do I respond to this? Yeah, time to start planning a future. Yeah, I goof off and have fun and love to keep things light, but I've got huge wads of trauma in my past. I can't keep that pain going forever. I don't know what my future is, but I know I should probably plan one. Maybe it's wrong to assume that plans will collapse. It's unhealthy to have no long-term goals beyond survival. So, I don't honestly know what my future holds, but I know it's coming and I need to be ready. I'm at risk of falling face first into the systems the rich and powerful have set up for us, endless grinds and loops. I need to be careful I don't stay in crisis mode forever. I need to find my own escape route. Thanks, you've given me a lot to think about. I promise I'll figure out my future before it gets here. Yes, past off the pain of the past. Kill it and let it die. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Even if you haven't locked in your course, you must not be held back by the past. I have no doubt you'll find your future, Penny. You have an inner strength few acknowledge, few other than myself. The King in Yellow folds his gloved hands together in contemplation, before reaching to tap at some unseen screen beyond the camera's view. I have reactivated your Crimer trial with 3 more free capers. Really? Great! And a boss code. A what now? Let's remove our masks, shall we, Penny? You wear the mask of the hench, the underling, the minion, but that's not who you are. You've been assuming that you must work to survive, but why work when others can sacrifice for you? Sit back and enjoy the fruits of their labour. You now have the same hiring powers as your former bosses, and the same kind of account I gifted to Mayhem, the Overmistress, and that silly computer. Use those 3 capers to build yourself up, acquire power, reach out and grasp it, using others to get what you desire. If you exploit this opportunity well, you will have the money to launch as many Crimer gigs as you please, and reap the rewards. Holy shit, this is amazing. Thank you. Holy shit indeed. Do not squander this chance, Penny. Perhaps one day you'll be worthy to stand at my side in Carcosa. Perhaps. My daughter will handle the trivial matters from here Wait, what? My daughter will handle the trivial details from here on as your handler. Aha! Did the king just flinch? It's hard to tell with the blur filter activated, but I know body language. Damn it, I let a secret slip. He brushes right past it, not even acknowledging. I look forward to seeing what you become, Penny. The matchmaker assumes control of the encounter from that point forward, pulling out her phone to make the final adjustments. You will have 3 boss class capers available to you starting tonight. You are not required to report back with your success or failure. In fact, odds are you will never speak to the king again, unless you truly ascend as he suggests. This is a rare boon. None are welcome at Carcosa without explicit invitation. Please do not drop by unannounced or you will be shot by security or our automatic defences. Yeesh, alright, got it, good to know. And please, take my business card. This is my direct number. Keep it sacred, so keep it safe. I accept the tiny slip of cardboard, very carefully palmed to me face up with the phone number on the front. And some kind of handwriting on the back. Just the word cat or tag over and over. Weird. But I quickly slip it into my pocket without making a huge show of studying it. Something oddly deliberate about the way she gave it to me. Okay, I'm going to risk a question, because something's tickling my thief, thrifter, con artist senses. I suppose the king's lucky to have such a loving family, huh? And Matchmaker measures her words carefully. Perhaps that holo projector isn't quite as offline as it seems. I am honoured to share genetics with him. Please excuse me, I have other affairs to attend to this evening. Well, that's a fucking weird way to say he's your dad. Deliberately fucking weird. But a boss-class Crimer account with 3 free capers. King's not wrong, this is exactly what I need. I can hire on underlings of my own. Well, I could do damn near anything. Acquire whatever I need to get out of the hole I'm in. Screw the gig economy part. Things are now looking up for Penny Larceny Supervillain. I'm feeling on top of the world as I strut back to my crap hole apartment. First thing I do once the money rolls in is find a better hideout, somewhere not condemned and crumbling. I'm back, and I'm not dead or anything. Gib, you are never going to believe it. The King in Yellow likes me, and he's giving me deeper access to Crimer. We're going to be rich! No more skating along the poverty line, no more sleeping in the cold, no more... Why do you look so spooked? These are all good things I'm describing. Okay, so promise not to freak out when I show you this. Show me what exactly? What I found in the encrypted archive from Lenny Legitimate's computer, from the King in Yellow's computer. I used our work with all 3 of the bosses to learn more about Crimer's algorithms, which gives me the keys I need to unlock the files, and in addition to old news clippings and financial reports, I found photos of you. Like what kind of photos? We're not talking about incredibly inappropriate stalker photos I have. I hope. No, not really, just photos, in general. Well, clearly he's been keeping tabs on me, right? Took an interest in my career. I mean, it's slightly creepy, but not surprising given he seems to be serious about researching his potential allies. Penny, these are files from long before you ever joined Crimer. He's been studying you for years. And the oldest file in here, well... And he pulls up a digital scan of an old photograph. Of me, my mother, and my father smiling to the camera. Oh. Okay. We were vacationing to scout out the Continuum lab that we'd hit that night. The lab caper where I lost both my parents. Are you sure you lost both of them? Gib, you know damn well I saw my mother vaporized by ray guns. It happened 3 feet away from me when I hit in the air vent. And your dad? He was running columns like you do. He said they'd found him, they were breaking down the door, told us to run, and then... And then he died. You're sure he died? I've been doing research into Carcosa Investments, the King's Shell Corporation. One of its primary investors is Continuum. I've also found that encrypted archive the only known photo of its financial director. The next photo he pulls up is blurry, not very noteworthy, some reprint of a news article from a newspaper. But that's my father. That's his face, I'm sure of it. Penny, this photo was taken a month after your dad died. He went from hunted down and killed by Continuum to founding Carcosa with the help of Continuum in a single month. That's not possible. He sold you out. He sacrificed you and your mother for a seat at the table, leveraging his new power to found an empire. Created legitimate business company under the fake name of Lenny Legitimate. From there, established Crimer as the so-called Yellow King. I know this sounds like a conspiracy theory, but the research tracks. He survived and thrived while you ended up in the gutter. And judging from the timestamps on these files, he's been watching you from afar ever since, leaving you to rot. Until now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not interpreting things correctly. Maybe you're right. That's the play, isn't it? Snitch on your family, get rewarded, roll that reward forward into more and more influence. Smart as hell. Perfect way to maneuver yourself into a position of absolute power. Epic level mask shit. He told me himself how he admired the way I formed no bonds, saw it as a virtue, using others for your own gain. Since he clearly was watching me from afar, if he had any regret over what he did, he could have stepped in at any point prior. Instead, he waited until I was a potentially useful tool before approaching me as the King in Yellow, brought me in as a new resource. It's clever, it's a damn good con, really. Impressive. Penny? It's okay, Gabe, I got this. Because if that's his play, I know what my next play is. I'm going to kill the King in Yellow, take his throne, and avenge my mother's death. Oh boy. What? You heard me. We're doing this. We're killing him. That's the mission. It's funny. You'd think I'd feel more conflicted. I'd want to deny the truth, have a good cry, weep over it all. I mourned him. I loved him. But he doesn't deserve any of the tears I shed over him. Oh boy. As far as I'm concerned, my father died. The scumlord gave up any right to be called a father when he traded his whole family for power. So yeah, fuck it. The king goes in the ground where he belongs. I mean, given what he did, I understand why you're angry, but... Oh boy, you're right to be angry. Heck, revenge is also great. Do a revenge. But you've got a code. You're a thief, not a murderer. You don't have to take it that far. I'm pretty sure there can be levels between total pacifism and Hannibal Lecter, Gib. It's not like I plan to make murder my breakfast, lunch and dinner for the rest of my life. This is my one exception to that rule. The so-called king has to pay for destroying his family. A life for a life. We roll the guillotines and commit regicide. Are you going to support me, Gibson? It's an actual choice, I won't force you. Wouldn't be fair. I'll understand if you want to back out. I'm always going to support you, Penny. Your family, and that should mean something. I'm with you. Okay, good. I've got some planning to do. See what you can dig up on Carcosa. I want coordinates, defences, intel, everything you can find. Locating the King in Yellow's ultra-private island fortress is not a small job. You're up for it. I trust you. Okay, okay. I'll make it happen. You'll have what you need. Thank you. Oh boy. You're the angel on my shoulder, right? Or at least the lesser devil on my shoulder. And here I am, planning a premeditated murder. You know me. You know I'd never cross this line on a whim. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, this is impulsive. But this is the play. Asking you to trust me. Do you trust me? Oh boy. I get the feeling I know what matchmaker was trying to tell you. Yes. Yes. Eats apple thoughtfully. I think we're gonna try and sway away from the murder. We'll see if maybe we can go for the put him in the gutter instead path. Penny. Penny. Keep in mind, if you care for me even a little, I'm going to... Oh no. Well, the matchmaker told me in the gift she granted me. Time to use Crimer to destroy Crimer. It took days for Gibson to finish his scouting. Obviously we couldn't physically go to Carcosa to sneak around and study it, but no need. We have enough intel, enough to start the ball rolling. But it's not going to be us alone designing the scheme. I've got 3 more partners in mind. Which is why I need your help. You require my assistance in deposing the King in Yellow. I fail to see what I can accomplish on your behalf, minion. Technically, you're the minion this time. I'm burning one of my 3 capers to hire you as my underling. I hate this designation, but it is accurate. If I am to accept this job, I must designate you as boss. I am not so prideful as to refuse. And I do understand your sadness and rage. I lost my creator and endured considerable grief. Your hatred is justified. In fact, I admire your hatred. I previously thought you to be incapable of such rage, but clearly I was wrong. Oh boy. A righteous hatred. But my concern stands. I am an immobile lump of circuitry in a decaying basement, boss. There is little I can do alone. Ah, but what I need from you is something I know you're adept in. Planning a war. Gibson's transferring over details about Carcosa, the private island fortress of the King in Yellow. Your job will be to draw up the battle plan. But I did not win the Vietnam War. My plans were always inadequate. I was a failure. I think it's high time you scored a W then, and I have faith you can do it. I see. The lights on Hate's terminal blink rapidly, tape drives spinning as they start to calculate. Automated anti-aircraft turrets to obliterate any attackers by air, radar and sonar, armed mercenaries to repel invaders by sea. Yup, the matchmaker described all of that to me, and Gibson confirmed her words using satellite imagery. Well, properly unhacked satellite imagery. Apparently the King's got enough pull to falsify most of it. Yes, the matchmaker is a concern as well. She is an expert in hand-to-hand combat and will likely defend her king to the death. How many corpses do you plan on stacking by the end of this venture? Let me handle the matchmaker. I've got some ideas on that front. And I believe I have a viable plan to counter her defences. I can provide air support. You will need to muster ground forces. But if you are my boss, that means you owe me a boon in return for this labour. Okay, what'd you need? Nuclear launch codes? Not happening, even if I had sent to give you. I suppose it was worth a try, even so. What I will need primarily is money. My plan involves considerable materiel and the manpower to assemble it. And you are flat broke, if I recall. How exactly do you plan to fund this operation? Or do you expect me to do that myself as well? We have the option to refuse to help. That's interesting. Offer the facility on Carcosa. Yeah. See, the way you phrase that makes me think you could figure out a way. You could figure out a way to fund this. You just don't wanna. You funded a caper with me before, didn't you? Tap those resources to get this done. As my boss, you are obliged to pay me. That is how the filthy rules of capitalism work. We're masks, we don't draw salaries and benefits and regular paychecks. But I hear you. Let's see. How about you move operations from this dank hole in the ground to the data vaults of Carcosa? You wish me to relocate? This place is collapsing. You deserve a higher class of computing centre. You do this task for me, I'll elevate your station to official technology advisor for the new leadership of Carcosa. As in, you. Impressive. I do not hate this plan, boss. Very well. I will fund my leg of the operation in exchange for a new home. The partnership is established. Leave the air defences to me. Groovy. Now to handle the rest of the King's men. And for my next trick, leveraging my new friends from a world-destroying Doom cult. Arrangements arranged, arrangements are made, a limo arrives, and soon enough I find myself back in the parlour of the Overmistress. Regicide? You genuinely mean to slay the King in Yellow? Genuinely. It seems not in your nature to seek revenge, much less mortal revenge. Natures change, temporarily. I'm not concerned about moral quandaries, of course. My cult has certainly been involved in many shady deeds prior. I have concerns that you will not follow through on your goals, that the King will continue to trouble me after I aid in his overthrow. The old adage is, if you come at the King you'd best not miss for a reason, is not a thing you can do halfway. I care not if the King technically lives, but can you promise me you will deny his royal retribution regardless? Of course. I'm aiming to cut the head off the serpent. I wouldn't come to you if I weren't serious about this. It's a curious fire in your eyes, Miss Larceny, one I did not think you capable of. And the King really is a bothersome individual. I would enjoy having less competition for power in this world. Very well. I will throw the weight of my empire behind your play. At minimum, it will be entertaining. What do you require of your overmistress, Miss Larceny? Hateful Thousands drafting the overall plan, and will be handling the automated defences so we can approach the island. So what I need from you is boats for a water landing, and the manpower to overcome the King's Guard. Ah, so a costly and bloody business. Come on, you're the Overmistress. I'm sure you can come up with a more clever idea than kill the hell out of them. I'm aiming to keep the body count to one singular kill, if possible, and if we can simply neutralise the mercenaries, then we can take the island easily, I see. And you're right, I am capable of far more cleverness than throwing faceless minions at a problem till it goes away. I think this situation calls for the Shroud of Angular Clarity. Yeah, that sounds great. What is it? A spell from the Sanguinomicon. It grants total vision to the many facets of reality, perfect and inuring. And you cast this spell on your own cultists to give them an advantage in battle? Oh, absolutely not. I'll blanket the island with the spell to give the King's Guard a sneak peek into the cracks between worlds. Which helps us how? Miss Larceny, what do you think would happen if I were to give you absolute knowledge of the sheer scale of the cosmos and your place within it? I'd collapse into a little puddle of gibbering nonsense and wet my pants. Precisely. And that is the gift I shall give the King's Guard. We will take the island bloodlessly while they writhe in total awareness. The King's chambers are shielded from such spell work. I recognise some runes carved into the building based on your satellite photos. But the rest of the island has no such protection. We will achieve instant victory. Kick ass! I'll take one shroud, please. The rituals of the Sanguinomicon are exhausting and dangerous, Miss Larceny. I do not cast them lightly. And in crime or tradition, you owe me for this work. I trust you intend to compensate me for my efforts. If you're asking about money, I could... Oh, please, money is nothing to me. What I want is consideration. If you are filling the vacuum left behind by the king, then I want a position of strength in your new regime. I want my cult position to leverage the new paradigm. The question is, can I trust you to deliver me that power? I already have concerns you can follow through on this. I suggest you soothe my doubts if you want me to crack open the Sanguinomicon on your behalf. Chin scratch, chin scratch. Yeah, I guess we just give her what she wants. I'm not just offering you consideration. I can offer you a literal seat at a literal table. I'm taking over Carcosa. That means I've got a new chunk of real estate to allocate, and some of that can go to your cult. Want a temple, an embassy, secret enclave, branch office, whatever, it's yours. You'll have a portion of Carcosa to do with as you please, once we forcibly evict the previous landlord. Sound good, my overmistress? Indeed, it sounds very good. Other villains might laugh and betray you, claiming the whole island once the deed is done, but I respect your confidence. I am one who admires passion. I will not deny your passion. I will grant my support in this effort. Good nooning, Two-Flower. Alright. One more stop to make on the world tour. Oh boy. There's only one missing element in all this. Dealing with the matchmaker. To reach the king, I must slay his dragon, in a manner of speaking. That's not a task for Hate's warmongering or the overmistress's flashy shows of magic. I need something precise and clever. I require a scalpel. Overthrow the king in yellow? The fuck do you expect me to do here? I'm a doctor, damn it, not a warrior. I mean, I'm barely a mask. I want less involvement in mask shit, not more. And I can help with that. If you do this for me, I can use the king's resources to wipe away your debt. Fat lot of good that does. If I'm aligned with a criminal kingpin afterwards, my reputation will still be shit. Yes, we are taking the penny ending. One problem at a time. We need to secure my position, then we'll figure out the rest. Okay. Sheesh. Alright, show me the card again. I pass him the matchmaker's business card. He turns it over in his hand, studying the weird handwriting on the back. Yeah, this is genetic code. Guanine, adenine, thymine, and cytosine. 4 nucleobases of DNA. GATC. No idea why the matchmaker would give you this, though. My thief's instincts tell me this is the key to dealing with her, and I need your expertise to crack the code. It's not like I pop it into a secret decoder ring and get a hidden message. That's not how science works. But something about this does look familiar. Let's go through my archives, see if I can get a match. You pick up a lot of random weird shit when you're a masked doctor. I may have a vague idea of what's going on here, but need time to research. Great, so you're on board then. Whoa, I never said I was down to clown, okay? You're asking a lot, pulling me into something on this scope of scale. If I'm going to voluntarily piss off most dangerous criminal mastermind in the world, I'm going to need something in return. Of course, what'll it be? You know what I need. Funding for my cancer research, resources to make my dreams a reality. What can you do to make the world a better place once you're in power? Because I have zero interest participating in a criminal empire. This is outside the scope of what Isaac's looking to do with his life. I'm going to need to make big promises to secure this. Private lab. Nah, he's not gonna... Ooh, One of these two. We can either just throw laundered money at him, or we can offer him a private lab. I have a... He doesn't want to be involved in crime. That's the thing. But he also wants to do this on his own terms. You think the lab is the best thing? Yeah. Fucking love those emotes you've got. I need to get like a... one of these days, if I ever revamp my model, I need to get like a chin scratch. Need to get like a chin scratch toggle for when I'm doing the big thonk. Yeah, let's go with the International Waters Lab. What you need most is a better lab. You're working out of an abandoned basement with whatever junk you can get your hands on. It's an island fortress, and we're one lady. Once we get rid of all the mercenary guards, I'm sure there'll be plenty of space. But Carcosa is going to be under new management, and I can allocate a chunk of it to you. How about it, Doc? Proper lab, something designed by you to your needs, in international waters, away from the reach of the law. Think you could do some good with that? Would be nice not to have cockroaches and rats wrecking my sterilized environment, yes. I'm not jazzed about working out of some supervillain lair, but it's hard to turn down a resource like that. If it helps me cure cancer, fine, but once the work is done, I might want to close up shop and get out of your hair. Understood? Understood? You're under no obligation to me after the regicide's complete. So you're really gonna do it, huh? Murder your own father? He murdered my mother and built an empire on her grave. You can't say it doesn't have it coming. I'm hardly one to preach about ethics, considering the compromises I've had to make in my life. I've got no right to lecture you. I mean, obviously I'm not in favour. I'm a fucking doctor. I've never in favour of cold-blooded murder. I just hope you're ready for the emotional fallout. My emotional fallout will involve me dancing on his grave. On your head be it, then. Give me a few days to figure out what Matchmaker was trying to tell you with this genetic code, then we'll figure out what comes next, okay? Got it? I'll coordinate with the others. Meanwhile, get the rest of the plan nailed down. This time next week, you and I will be sipping margaritas in Carcosa itself. We'll see. That's all the game pieces, neatly arranged, all equal in importance. Their job is to get me the way up to the other side of the board. But we're equal in this. We rise together or fall together. Let's just hope like it's rising, not falling, because falling at this point would suck for everyone involved. Oh boy. It took some time to finish all our tasks, but here we are now, in the catacombs deep beneath the Overmistress's seaside mansion. In the heart of the cult of the many-faceted one, as robed weirdos load up the boats for tonight's assault. No, we will not be needing the corrupted blades of piercing gaze tonight. No, we don't need the fivefold eye of obliteration either. This is going to be a non-obliterating affair. I did not order the pendulum of doom. Get rid of it. No stabbing anyone without my express order. You are here for crowd control only. Bring, I don't know, a bunch of rope instead. Yes, for tying people up. And no, not tying up in the fun way. Your friends seem interesting. It's so hard to find good minions these days. If it's all the same to you, I'm going to hang on to these canisters instead of handing them off to your mumblecore death squad. They're fragile as hell, and I don't want to rupture before they're deployed. Fine, fine. You'll be in the third boat, with haste. You can stow them below decks until needed. For the record, kinda not comfortable with all this cult nonsense. I'm a man of science, and magic isn't real. If it irritates you so, just think of magic like rewriting the DNA of reality. Same concept. That's not how DNA works either! Which is when a familiar... He's got a little drone squad, look at him go! Hell yeah. A familiar-looking computer monster floats through the air, suspended by tiny quadcopter drones and cables. Behold my powerful new mobile form. I am prepared to join the battle. That's what you spent all week perfecting? Looks like a bunch of extension cables and duct tape. This is the pinnacle of broadcast technology. My digital consciousness projected into drone units over powerful 3G networking. I think you're at least 2Gs behind the curve. You just don't respect digital brilliance, typical meat brain, focused on meat aesthetics. Okay, getting these three to cooperate is going to be tricky. It occurs to me now they've never even interacted before, not even at the Crimer event. Probably a bit too optimistic to hope they'd bond right away as friends and form a wacky gang of pranksters. But I bet I could nudge things in the right direction with a few choice words. They don't really have a common cause, I'm going to be honest. Let's go with rallying them under a banner. Hey, whoa, no bickering, no arguing. That's the sort of thing Z-grade villain team-ups do. We're going to be better than that. We're going to show the Circus of Cruelty, the Vile Seven, and the Spice Girls how it's done. The Spice Girls? You know, Ghost Pepper, the Carolina Reaper, Red Savina, the Spice Girls. They broke up, but hey, it counts. But we aren't going to break up. This is the start of something grand. 4 supervillains banding together, each unique and capable. Don't look at this as a temporary alliance, or me hiring you like mercenaries. Look at this like a trial run for something grand. Soon, we shall be known as the Larceny Legion. You are naming our evil alliance after yourself. I mean, we can workshop it. I'm open to suggestions. This is a dialogue. Actually, I rather like the Larceny Legion. What with being a legion that commits larceny. And hey, can't go wrong with alliteration for solid branding. If I'm going to be stuck as a mask, I may as well be a mask with strong publicity. Helps me get my work done. Very well. I have decided that I do not hate the Larceny Legion. Please understand the act of not hating is difficult for me. You know, I'm casual acquaintances with several mask AI researchers who could help you with that. Maybe upgrade your emotional core? I would be concerned about losing an important part of myself if I make major adjustments to my code. This anxiety loop restrains me. Cosmic existential terror, my specialty. I can counsel you on how to deal with major changes in life. Adopting traditions like rituals can be a lovely coping mechanism. Yeah, unless you have access to any reliable and non-sinister mental health resources, I'd be interested. I've got anger issues. Yay! Family! Did I really do it? Did I achieve the best possible timeline where everyone's happy and super cool? I mean, okay, splitting my attention to so much means romance is probably not in the cards anymore, and I probably couldn't give any of them special attention to really dig into their problems, so maybe we aren't going to fix everything. But hey, this is good, right? Something is missing. Yeah, Farsight is missing. Let's focus on tonight. Spoilers can wait. Okay, we're ready to launch. Larceny Legion, to your positions. We've got a king to dethrone. With the final preparations complete, we set out across the sea ready for battle. Carcosa, where black stars rise. Carcosa, where strange moons circle the skies. Sounds spooky, just like the King in Yellow. And on a metaphorical level, sure, it represents the horrors of the modern age, but cut through the bullshit and it's just another rich bastard living in a bubble of privilege, and will not be intimidated by set decoration. The automated flat cannons and dozens of trained murderers. Those I can damn well be intimidated by. But I've come prepared. I've got my friends at my side. The cult speedboats cut across the sea. Through waves beating at the sides, I hear the crackle of comms. Fancy Feast here, reporting from lead vessel. Comms check time, everybody sound off. Crimson Rose standing by. Ritual is prepared and cultists are ready to make landing. Chippy, standing by. Wireless signal router is active and connected to the swarm. We are ready to launch. Isaac, standing by. Your code name is Watson. We're using code names. I'm not calling myself that. So you want your real name on the airwaves in the event this flops and the King's looking for someone to hang over the Scorpion Pit? Watson, standing by and ready to deploy with landing forces. All agents present and accounted for, Panda Bear. We are all go for Operation Regicide. Thanks, Fancy Feast. This is Panda Bear. We're approaching the perimeter. Chippy, are you ready to deploy? And here I am, about to take decisive action to put myself at the head of a power broker's world-spanning network. Last week I was under the assumption I had to be a lackey, a gopher, a minion. Things took a bit of a turn, didn't they? I'll admit, I'm exhausted. I'm cruising on adrenaline and determination. Might need to, I don't know, utterly collapse after. But tonight we see this through. We've got a slight stealth advantage, but soon enough we're on their radar, and Carcosa springs to life, ready to destroy all invaders. It's army against army, but we've got land, sea and air. It's go time. Chippy, deploy. Oh no, the swarm. From the boats, the roar of dozens of tiny propellers as the hate drone swarm launches into the sky. Fear me, King in Yellow, for I am Legion. The Larceny Legion. Yes, that. The swarm fans out, a single intelligence spread across multiple targets, as Carcosa's guns come online, trying to knock them out of the sky. You cannot harm me. There are too many of me. We are small and evasive. Your guns are inadequate. You just fly the Valkyries. I fought in Nam. I do not fear the likes of you. Portions of the swarm flank the island, coming in low to dive in, connect to the automated guns, and open communication ports. I'm in, taking control of the guns one by one. Just need a few minutes to finish the hack. Great work, Fancy Feast and Chippy, keep it up. Electro swing for flight of the Valkyries. Wah! Love it. Tremble before me. At last, my tactical and strategic brilliance is fully realized. I am a digital god of war. Oh shit. Chippy, you good? Nope, not good. The hate drones begin drifting off course. Each one's displaying connection errors. Uh-oh. The wireless router hate installment boat has blinking red lights on it. Now what? Turn it off and on again. Can't be that simple, can it? I grasp the power cable, yank it out, wait 5 seconds and plug it back in. Wait for it. Bring ruin to your empire. Oh, thank fuck you're back online. You crashed out for a minute there. Nonsense! I am the pinnacle of technological advancement, now completing shutdown of automated defenses. Okay. Phase 1 completed. You're up, Crimson Rose. Put the guards out of commission. Very well. I call for the opening of the Sanguinomicon. A massive book made from pages of dried skin is held open and held aloft by 2 cultists, while a third does something with a cup. A chalice? A vessel? What's an appropriate fancy-ass word for a magic sippy cup? In the names of the manifested one, the ones who are many and many who are one, I call for angular clarity. Let those with narrow, greedy minds that seek to do my followers harm be gifted with the curse of terrible knowledge. She immediately breaks out into a sweat as the mystic energy Watsits begin to build and build. Oh dear, we might have just lost control. You've got this, lady! You're capable of everything you put your mind to. Focus, I trust you. You're a formidable woman, one I respect and admire. You're capable of anything. Put your amazing willpower to work and cast that spell! I hereby command those in the King's Legion to open their eyes and to bear witness to the infinite. As the boats make landing at the docks of Carcosa, I see heavily armed military dudes grabbing at their eyes and screaming. Oh, he can see the light! We disembark from the boats, the cultists swiftly moving to disarm, capture, and bind the helpless soldiers under direction from the Overmistress. We have taken Carcosa! Not quite. So, I don't want to step on the good vibes, but the southern face of the complex, the one Doc Mayhem needs to reach the roof. According to these visuals from the hate drones, it's coated in explosive mines. He can't get up that way. Oh, I assume these bombs are not Wi-Fi enabled. No amount of hack-catch shenanigans will disable tripwire munitions, Panda Bear. Bombs? Did Gibson just say something about the bombs? No problem, not a problem. We improvise. This is normal. This is how capers go. Okay, Doc, I'm gonna need you to hang on to a drone and fly up to the roof directly instead of using the stairs. Are you fucking joking? Hey, it'll be fine. Chippy, can you carry Watson to the roof, right? How much do you weigh, coincidentally? The drones I put together with chewing gum. It splattered on the concrete. Oh, crap. We need him up there and fast. This plan fails if he's not in position for a confront the king. Grappling gun. We have an alternative. My grappling gun. You can climb the building from the northern face using that. Do I look like a mountain climber to you? I don't have that kind of strength. So we split the difference. The drones provide some safety and lift you while you climb the rope. That's actually a pretty good compromise. If one fails, the other provides a backup. Okay, how's this thing work? Point and shoot, my dude. The rest is magnets. That's not how magnets work. I mean, does anyone really know how magnets work? Yes, many people do. We call them physicists. Whatever, let's move. And remember to store the king as long as you can. We need this to disperse it through the airflow. He hefts his biochemical backpack and fires off the gun, using the cable and some drone assistance to scale the building quickly. Right, now it's my turn. I keep the king talking long enough for Mayhem to finish his job and finish this once and for all. I square myself up to the task ahead of me and march straight through the doors of Carcosa. A dramatic person would throw open the double doors of the king's chamber wide. A far more dramatic sort would kick those doors in. But me, I opt to use plastic explosives on the hinge and blast the doors down. Maximum drama. Presentation! And the king awaits inside, not even slightly disturbed by the sudden shower of wooden splinters. I storm in anyway, ready to put an end to this. I knew you were coming, of course. Very little escapes my notice. But I'm actually quite impressed you got this far. Proud even. Look at all you've accomplished in such a short time. You can achieve even greater heights. I can teach you the things you need to know. Save it, not in the mood. Take off the mask. I wear no mask. You know damn well what I mean, Dad! He doesn't flinch. No tells. He's not going to make it easy for me this time. You want me to turn off the blur suit? Certainly, Penny. Anything for family. He taps twice on the side of his neck, and the holographic blur dissipates. Does this satisfy? That'll do. That way I can look you in the eyes as you die. Just like I got to do with Mother, thanks to you. As expected, the matchmaker emerges from the shadows, ready to intersperse herself between the king and I. Actually, Codits use the same skin tone as Penny. Good. Good details. I do like how, though, the fact that I've the fact that I kind of picked the slightly Mediterranean tan for Penny means that the king looks very Lex Luthor right now. Yeah, hive mind moment. There we go. I must defend my king. You mean your father? Yes, my father. I will defend my father, as will my sisters. Wait, sisters? Oh, crap. Which is when I realise the room is filled with matchmakers. Identical women with slight variations in costume. Oh, so all of those people were the matchmaker, sort of. I see it. Huh, neat. This is like, how did you not notice this before? Look, sometimes you need a good side-by-side comparison to really spot the differences, yeah? Like those funny pictures of dots that make a sailboat if you cross your eyes. So, clones, yeah? Derived from his DNA. Huh. Wow, Dad, you're a goddamn egomaniac to make a whole set of obedient test tube daughters to replace me. They aren't replacing you, Penny, provided, of course, that you have the vision to see what I've accomplished for what it is. Because I may misdirect, yes, but I honestly wear no mask, unlike you. You try to live by a sloppy code of ethics, some anti-heroic rogue, all while leaving chaos in your wake. Think of all the security guards fired because they couldn't catch you. Think of the families that starved, denied those paychecks. Think of the corporations you collapsed, the workers who suffered as you destroyed the structures that supported them. Can you call that justice? But I wear no mask. I have no illusions about what I am. I exploit this world honestly and openly. You do so while lying to yourself. Hate me, but do it honestly. Yes. The King in Yellow is Penny's dad. Get the Mark to sympathise, even identify with you. We're not that different, you and I. Lure them in for the con. I know the play's dad. You taught me well. Or rather, Mum taught me well. Can't recall much of anything you taught me. That can be amended. You've shown ambition beyond what I thought you were capable of. I meant it when I said I was proud of you. So please, call off your attack and let's join forces. Call it a play if you like, but you can't deny the mutual advantages. Don't let the Mark realise they don't actually need you. Pretend you're an invaluable resource. That's the whole gimmick behind this King in Yellow, right? The almighty power broker. Cute name, by well, not calling yourself Maxwell Larceny anymore. Not even in secret. I wasn't Maxwell when I married your mother. Names like socks. Change them out daily. The King in Yellow, Leonard Legitimate Maxwell Larceny, has stirred the Puppet Master, our mutual benefactor, Old Scratch. But I wear no mask. The names change, but I'm always myself. And you could be too if you discard your mask and break your limits. You're not seriously letting him monologue, are you? Relax, I'm just making sure Mayhem's in position before I finally move in on him. Until then, let him talk. You said you've been living in crisis mode, trying to get by day to day, that you need to think about your future. This is your future. This is your birthright. Everything I have built will need a steward. Once I am gone, I'm not foolish enough to think myself immortal, that means it could all be yours. Think about it, Penny. The future you need, within reach, you just have to be willing to reach out and take it. Like you reached out to Continuum while throwing me and Mother to the wolves. That's your path, right? Your way to the future. Cut off the Damn it, ruin the monologue. Cut off the pain of the past, kill it and let it die. Your words, Dad. But that's not my path. I'm not going to sacrifice the ones I care about for petty power. No future's worth that. A childish view, but understandable. You'll learn to let go, in time. At my side, we can fix all of this. I can make amends. And the earpiece crackles to life. 16 parts per million, we're now at nominal levels. Finally, I was getting sick of hearing him plead his case. Finally? Finally what? Finally, we're done. We're done here. I kill you, I take your stuff, and get on with my life. And the matchmaker steps forward again, ready to fight. I'm afraid I cannot allow you to... Actually, now you can. We're all set. Dr. Genophase's neurological kill command. That's what's on the card she gave me, Dad. A virus that instantly and locally kills anyone matching the genetic signature baked into it. Fox die! That's why you're not in the least bit scared of me, right, Dad? Because you could pop that capsule in your left palm and I'd drop dead. Finally a tell, his hand moving down and backwards, instinctively trying to hide it, but realising it's too late. I would do no such things. You are my daughter. I love you, Penny. Uh-huh. You love the matchmakers too? Because that capsule will also kill some of them. She is my genetic match. Modified to be a perfect little porcelain doll. Aesthetically acceptable, able to be slotted into any power structure, but still my sister. But the kill command working on her, that's a plus, yeah? Keeps these daughters under control, in a way I never was. If any of your darling daughters question you, just retire them. Haven't had to retire a matchmaker in years. They know I trust them, and... Did you develop the antidote? Yep, it's been dispersed into the air conditioning system. Everyone in the room's now vaccinated against the kill command. We're good to go, and thanks for warning me about every kind of defense I'd encounter on the way here. What? And my sister crosses the room to join me, as do the others, turning to face the king in yellow rather than confront me. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to understand my clues. Once I'm in charge, I promise we'll run this place as partners. You're my sister, not his daughter, and sisters are equals. Sir, I'm afraid I must tender my resignation. I hope my service to date was adequate. Farewell. What? And they file out of the room through the ruined doorway. Penny, please, you must understand. Nah, you die now, okay? Your mother was a fool, a short-sighted fool. Loretta Larceny could have had the world at her fingertips. I could have helped her rise to take everything she ever wanted. I had ideas, ways to exploit and control the information age. Together we could have stolen the world. Primer and Capebook, twin services, one to counter the other. We'd profit off algorithmically maintaining the status quo. You run Capebook too. Of course, there's no need to win the game if you're playing at every seat at the table. You win by default. We could have won as a family. But no, I was just the guy in the chair doing nerdy computer things while she enjoyed her adventures. All she aspired to was a little fun, crime here and there, splashy and exciting adventures with you. She had no ambition. Loretta was content to live a mediocre, modest life. Surely you understand. You want more. I can tell that you want more out of life, and together we could have everything. Don't let her laziness hold you back from the future you deserve. Let me help you. Mother already had everything she wanted. She had her family, but that wasn't enough for you. We weren't enough for you. And now you have nothing, because I'm taking everything you've got. My birthright. I pluck a letter opener from his desk, because of course a classy, elegant king would have a dagger-like letter opener. You sure about this, Penny? Oh boy. You know how I beat you, Dad? How I defeated the villain of villain? The one who's always 8 moves ahead? Because I see it's all a grift. You've improvised every move on the fly while wearing the mask of an organised mastermind, a chess master. But me, I'm not playing chess. I'm playing some fucking checkers. And here I am, on the back row of the board. You know what that means? King me. And he cowers. He actually cowers as I raise the knife. Last chance, Penny. I'll just, like, not actually stop time, but at least move at the speed of thought for a moment, narratively speaking. Oof. Oh boy. Okay, we have one shot to not stab him. Any arcade game? Yes, I do remember that. Wasn't there like 3 of them? Yeah, it was like an episodic thing. It's going to make the next one easier. Well, she's already said that she doesn't, she doesn't believe in the slippery slope. I'm gonna try and say be clever. Wasn't expecting that argument from you. It's true, most masks just see find them and kill them as the go-to solution for every problem. There's no craft in their work. And stabbing him does feel rather direct, like an easy, quick, permanent fix to the problem he represents. I can be clever, I can be smarter, I can still hate his guts, still punish him, but in a far more delicious way. All I really want is a sense of justice and closure on this. Murder doesn't have to be the means to an end. But what's the alternative? He's dangerous, he's powerful. How do we put him down safely and non-lethally? He played Catebook against Chroma, so play the heroes against him. We can hand him over to Farsight. He turns into a criminal informant who's in trouble. There is some poetry in using the system he's created to destroy him. So I swing, stab the letter opener into the desk, and leave it there. Nah, killing you is letting you off lightly. I'm going to keep you as a guest for a few days while I finish devouring your kingdom, swapping your passwords, changing all the locks. Make sure all your contacts know there's a new monarch in town. And then I'm handing you over to the heroes. What? You keep saying what like this is a shock, like you haven't even considered you might lose this gambit. Not much of a con man if you don't have a backup plan. Oh well. Once the heroes found out their social media feeds were monitored, controlled, and manipulated by you, you're toast, bucko. You can't do that. Even if you burn down Catebook, you'll lose a powerful resource. Think about this. I don't need it. Unlike you, I don't care to make anyone dance to my whim. And it'll only further cement my rule if I let the heroes have you. Maybe they'll look the other way as I build my power. You say I wear a mask, that my ethics keep me from greatness? I'd say fair play can earn you some surprising allies. Now then, sis, a word? On cue, the primary matchmaker emerges as if she's been eavesdropping the whole time, which she probably had been. How can I help you, Penny? Set up a dad in a guest room, comfortably, securely. Meanwhile, I've got prep work to do on his downfall. See to it that he's cared for until the day we throw him out the door. The only streamer you've seen that... Oh, really? Okay. I know this is probably like a bit beyond your budget level, but it would be interesting to see a Telltale game style, you picked this and X percentage of other players picked this. You think you've beaten me? I'll worm my way out of this. I'll rise back up, and then you'll regret ever letting me live. I mean, if you want to be stabbed instead, there are options we can workshop. I'm cool with either. What'll it be? Humph. And so the king is dead. Long live the king. Mostly use the achievements. Okay. Needless to say, my life got very complicated after that. I had to shift from an underling mentality to a boss mentality very quickly, secure every hidden branch of the king's empire. But in time, I asserted control. I learned to become the new king in yellow, the queen in green. Oh yes, and we get the power tux. I have to admit, Dad's scheme was a solid one. There's no need to win the game if you're playing every seat at the table, you win by default. I have the power to reshape the world, and I have allies willing to help me do it. Partners, rather than minions. The matchmakers, the Larceny Legion, and the countless agents my father already had in play. The future's bright indeed. But I'm not kidding myself. I haven't saved the world. At best, I've simply grasped the strings that control it. Hate's still aching for Armageddon, the Overmistress is still running her blood cult, Mayhem's research may never be accepted by the public. If anything, I've empowered them to go deeper into their own shadows. But that's fine, because I have power of my own. At last I have control. Power's yours, Penny. Be careful with it. An abundance of it. Enough to worry anyone, and a responsibility to be careful with that power. It'll be a tightrope walk, but I'm sure I'm up to it. As the most influential mask of my generation, I can discourage mass-murdering bastards and encourage anti-heroes and rogues. And put down a few overzealous vigilantes who cross lines they aren't meant to cross. It won't be easy, I'm gonna have to make some tough calls, but I'll get it done. In my line of work, you learn to look at the big picture, crafting your design for it one step at a time. Everything connects up. Dotted lines and arrows and symbols, a path leading from A to B to C to D. When you do your job right, it's clean and precise, professional and awesome. I love it when a plan comes together. It's not possible to predict every step, of course. A skilled schemer is also an impressive improviser. You adjust the plan on the fly. But in the end, you'll get where you're going, where you need to be. Now I'm where I needed to be, and everything else has fallen neatly into place. My name is Penny Larceny, and believe it or not, I'm running the world. Well, round of bloody applause. Oh. Can we get Penny's theme properly? So, closing thoughts. Definitely a fantastic experience. It being a sort of a shorter, more compressed experience definitely feels like we didn't get the opportunity to really learn the ins and outs of a lot of these characters, but it is met by the fact that there are, like, what, 6 different endings by my count? I would need to look at the exact achievements again, but yeah, like, Arcade Spirits always ends in the same place, and it's all the sort of weird branches that you take to get there. 6, yeah. Yeah, it's all like the little, all the little dance that you do between the start and the end, whereas this is like Star of Chaos levels, like 6 different directions you can go, and they're all wildly different. But yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to be playing it again so I can experience all the other endings. In particular, I feel like I missed an opportunity to really get to know Farsight. She was good, I liked her, but yeah, I'll definitely be playing some more of this. Maybe I'll do some videos of the other endings. We'll see. I have a lot of other videos. The list of capers that qualify for the Farsight ending. Well, I know 2 was the Big Hat and the Warehouse. So I assume I would need to do all 3 to get the Farsight ending. See, we're getting the shadow over cyberspace. Ooh! I am intrigued already. Ugh. Alright, now a quick drink. Gotta get all 3 to get Farsight. Hat, Warehouse, Monumental, Lock and Key, copy that floppy, all qualify. Okay, yeah, so we only missed 1, but that was mostly because I really enjoyed burning down that fucking crypto warehouse. Oh! Didn't know they were really up to, didn't find out in time, didn't stop their plan. Timeline, our whole history, every probability just erased like we never existed. Ooh. It's an infinite crisis. A crisis on infinite Earths. He's purging whole timelines to establish... Oh! This can't be how it ends. The Gigaverse is fluid and non-linear. There is a way back if you refuse to accept this fate. Ah, I see. So the Farsight ending saves us from time collapse. New paths, new decisions, new friends and allies. Now the game truly begins. Okay, well, maybe we'll just come back and stream the Farsight ending then. Okay, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. But that is where we will be ending today. We unfortunately are ending a bit early, but with only half an hour left on the clock, it's not really enough for me to switch over to tomorrow's game. But we'll be back again tomorrow, where we will be playing On Guard. Until then, thank you all for joining me. Thank you to Flower especially. It's always good to see you, and it's always good to learn the behind the scenes of what's going on with this game. But until next time, thank you, good night, and much love.